Welcome back, folks, for a new series on my channel that I like to call FlashPoint Weekend Update. So this is where I collect some of the more smaller tidbits of info, like leaked contents or hidden changes, speculations, rumors, my opinions, and ramblings all into one video. So basically a junk pile of all the tidbits of info released throughout the week, and I'll probably do one every Friday or so. But for this video, it's the first. I'll cover March 1st to March 17th. So first off, we got micropatch 9.17.1_2, and it's pretty normal to have micropatches to fix some of the bugs, but it doesn't change the overall patch folder in resmod or res, so pretty normal. But for this micropatch, we got 4 premium tanks added to the tech tree to be purchasable by gold all year round, and 2 of those are legacy premium tanks, the 112 and the Panther M10, which got removed because of their preferential matchmaking status, but they returned. What? Also, the recently released Krupp-Steyr Waffendrager during Christmas, I believe, and the VK4503, which was released around summer of last year. So you can buy these with gold now, which is great. But based on the recent power creep of premium tanks, I guess selling these weren't, profitable. Yeah, would you rather buy a 112 or the Object 252U? Mostly the 252U, right? So that's probably the reason, but the 112 got a armor buff, I believe, in 9.15 or 9.16, which is pretty relevant, and the high explosive anti-tank shell for the D25T is better than the APCR shell for the IS-6 version of the gun. And here's the Panther M10. It's pretty good now. It got a speed boost, the reload boost, and some of the accuracy boosts, I believe, but fires a little bit slower than the E25, but 3.7 seconds of reload is not that bad. And this tank is still pretty fun now. It's a little bit more fun because the space armor and other stuff, but Also, the Krupp-Steyr got a engine boost, so from about 10 horsepower per ton ratio to 15, I believe. So it's a lot faster now, and still a sniping gun. So it was recently released, but they introduced it as a normal purchasable vehicle for gold. So you can waste your tournament gold or your Clan Wars gold on this vehicle now. Excellent. What about the Cannon Yak Panzer? Or the Yak Tiger 88? Introduce those as normal tanks, or actually normal premiums, into the tech tree. And lastly, we had the VK4503. Basically, the original Tiger 2. The current Tiger 2 is also called the Tiger 3 during production, during the design phases, but we already talked a lot about that, so whatever. But it's alright, premium, so compared to the trend of premiums released today, yeah. So, yeah, might as well sell this for gold now. Oh well. But the Strv S1 has a new skin, so they added more clutter than the basic model, so it looks a lot nicer, and they gave it the gold price, so I'm expecting they're going to sell it pretty soon. So they added the 50 or 30 cal, that's a 30 cal, and some of the tarp, canvas, the spare row wheels, toolboxes, and other stuff. So prepare to see this as $50 or so. That gold cost is the same as a tier 8 premium heavy tank. So don't expect this thing to be around $35 like the Revitalize or the AMX CDC or the STA2. Not like that. So pretty expensive. But it does come with the siege mode. Now recently we have the T25 Pilot No.1 Marathon, and the marathon was pretty okay. It's not a marathon, it's more like a jog. So it's not as crazy as getting 30,000 XP without 2x or premium time boost. So it's not like the grind for the IS-6, the T34, the T44-100, not like that. So it's relatively okay, but this vehicle is somewhat mediocre. So I already covered it about a year ago, and the best armor is on the Matlet, which is about 200mm. That's it. The frontal hull is 3 inches, 76.2, has a 90mm gun with 190mm of pen, I believe, and that's about it. It's not fast, has about 14 horsepower per ton ratio, and pretty good terrain resistance, but I mean, it's not as fast as a light tank, so not as crazy as 17 horsepower per ton. So, man, it's alright. It's free. Don't look at the gift horse in the mouth, right? So, I like it. I hope they reintroduce some of the older premiums as marathon missions like every other month or every month. That would be great. Like the Strv S1, the KTTS. I mean, that would drive up a lot of the attendance of player base. So, I mean, you're not going to give out a lot of free stuff, right? But still, hopefully the end missions are not as ridiculous as the personal missions. So I'm expecting the missions to be a little bit more harder every day, incremental obviously, but hopefully it's not like destroy 3 artillery with a light tank spotted by yourself or something. That's stupid. Or destroy 2 tanks with 1 shell. That's going to be hard. So who knows, but they're trying to sell the tokens, which is like 1 day token is like $3. So their model is probably selling you 3 tokens and for you to complete the rest. So I'm guessing the last 3 missions are going to be a nightmare, but who knows? Hopefully it's not. Now onto the Sandbox. There's a tier 8 to tier 10 now shift. So they released the tier 8 and the tier 9 new light tanks with the switch as well. But we had the batch at 12T. This is the tier 8 French light, replacing the AMX 1390. The 1390 got bumped up to tier 9. So it looks pretty decent, but it still has the rule of play 1 round of light tanks. You have to play 3 more rounds of other tanks to get another chance of playing lights. So that's to keep the matchmaking full of not light tanks. But it looks alright. I mean, looks like AMX 12T. The turret does look a little bit more center mounted, so might be a little bit more gun depression, better gun depression, elevation. I doubt it, but who knows? Does have a 90mm, so meh, or 76. I forgot, but it's not spectacular. Here is the HWK at tier 8, replacing the Spielpanzer RU-251. It's a boot. So rear mounted turret, 90mm. I also believe a auto-loading 90, like the tier 7 SP1C, I believe. So, small light tank, I guess. It's a boot. So, here is the tier 9 WZ132A with a long barrel, 100mm. So there's going to be 3 versions of the WZ132s. So 132, 132A, and the 132-1. Awesome, but 3 versions of the same tank, well, modifications as well. Yeah, it looks like a clone, so oh well. But good news from the Sandbox is the Walker Bulldog will keep the 10-round auto-loading gun. So the 76 10-round, that's 1,500 alpha burst in like 18 seconds. Yeah, it will keep that gun. So due to popular protests, it will keep it. So good news. And same goes for the 152 gun launcher on the T49 Horsefly. So this thing will just be as annoying as before. Have you ever been bitten by those things? The little, like, they're the size of a quarter, and they're huge, and it hurts when they bite you, and that's how annoying this thing is. So it will keep the gun launcher firing high explosive. Yeah. Well, there was a recent interview or developers panel, if you will, and this was one of the video featuring the new model for the XM551 Sheridan prototype. So as you can see, it has a cage at the front, as well as some of the road wheels and junk at the front. So new model. I took a look on the Sandbox, and behold, there it is. So does look nicer, and it's getting rebalanced because the Spielpanzer, the Spielpanzer 57, also known as the Roman-tail Panzerwagen, as well as the T100 light tank, are too good. So those two vehicles are getting nerfs. This vehicle alongside AMX 13105 are getting buffed, and same goes for the WZ 132-1, but not as much. So rebalancing, but hopefully they'll figure out the matchmaking as well as the light tanks before the full release, which is predicted to be 9.18, I believe. So who knows, but you do have a cage at the front now, so it's holding all the junk, but it's all space armor. So I'm projecting that this is going to be just clutter, but hopefully this mesh will become a space armor plate, and this will become the second layer of space armor. The second layer of space armor, blah, blah, blah. Space armor at the front, so like the Super Purging now. So more protection, but the base armor at the bottom is only 30mm, I believe. So not that thick, but pretty resilient to high explosive or high explosive anti-tank. The ass is all big and chunky, thick. It's all space armor, so yeah, alright. But here is the same video showcasing a likely STI HD model shooting at a Spielpanzer 57, the Panzerwagen. So I checked it out. It's standard def on the Sandbox, so sad to say, no HD model yet for the STI, but if you want an HD skin for this vehicle, Milky Man has a great skin on his website. It's always in the link in the description below, so go check him out. But been playing this vehicle for a long time, and it's a lot better than IS-4. A lot. IS-4 has only like what, 30 rounds? Ugh. So speaking about the IS-4 as well as the STI, there were rumors that this vehicle, the STI-2 or ST2, is going to be released, or at least attempted to be released, replacing IS-4 at tier 10. So IS-4 will be bumped down to tier 9, and this will be the new tier 10 from the KV3 line or the T150 line. It will feature two barrels of 122. The M68, I believe. I forgot what the gun is called, but M58? No, that's the Barrett. So it's a modified 122, 440 alpha. You have two of those. So 880 alpha takes about, I don't know, 20 seconds to reload. I don't know, but it's the initial Apocalypse tank or the Overlord tank if you play Command and Conquer. So I want one. I really do. Overlord is here. I am big. So yeah, I want one, but I highly doubt it because new mechanic for one vehicle only. Actually two vehicles, counting the MTLS or MT whatever the hell that thing is, the super special rare machine gun American light tank or medium. I forgot which class it is, but it's super rare. Nobody has it, but it has two machine guns for the barrel, for the gun barrel, for the turret. But yeah, it only uses one. So speculations, rumors, right? And finally, for the Chinese server, there were talks of releasing two high-tier Chinese tank destroyers. So I mean, these were based off the WZ120 chassis. Has a likely 130 or 122, but it's only going to be Chinese server exclusive. So the history with the Chinese server is long, and basically they have a publisher called Wang Zong. I don't know, but yeah, they basically allows you to buy any tank they want, like the M60 Patton, or I don't know, the Object 907 if you pay enough cash. So basically it's mostly pay to win. They also have the 300mm high explosive anti-tank shell from the D25T guns, like the T34-3 originally. So basically use high explosive anti-tank and you'll pen almost everything, and it's not as dramatically different in terms of credit price for those gold shell, so just spam those. So yeah, their server is weird. It's a environment of their own, so highly doubt that we're going to get these vehicles. But remember, proprietary assets will not remain exclusive to one server for long, because we got the 59 Patton, the 121B, as well as the T44-100. So those were server exclusive for the Chinese server as well as the Russian server, but after a few months or some time, they got released onto the other servers. So who knows, but pretty interesting. I mean, all these vehicles are paper tanks, so they're based off the Type 59 chassis, the WZ120 chassis. Some were based off the 113, but all paper tanks. So yeah. And the last picture we have here is from last year, summertime, and that time they already talk about the Chinese tank destroyers. So it's not a new thing, but this vehicle looks like a 113 with a long barrel, 130mm. So it looks like the IS-7's gun with the muzzle brake of the original 152 on the ISU. So it's probably historically inaccurate, who knows, but I mean, it's a Chinese server. They do whatever the hell they want. So that's the flashpoint for this week, as well as last week. So there you go, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Does Samuel L. Jackson like anime?
Yes, I do. Hentai too.